Yes. So Alcazar, he was an adventurer of great renown, and lots of his tales they proliferate about his daring and incredible discoveries across Faerun, and you know, uh, this area up here, a lot of different kinds of discoveries and adventures of such. So Alcazar, of course, let's start at the very beginning over here, and I lead you guys on over up to this shelf over here, and begins to start flipping through and whatnot. I'm gonna roll him a d20. Cool. And he begins to just flip through the books for a while, pulling one off his shelf and looking for the specific book. It takes him about an hour's time, as this place is massive and full of all sorts of books and whatnot. Uh, as you guys are kind of waiting around and walking around, you guys see a ogreish man sitting over by the cubbies reading a pile of books just littered all throughout him, and he's like nose buried into it and looks up, and as Wilmer walks by and he goes, "Hello." He looks back down at his books. Please try to be quiet. And he just keeps on reading his books.
Better to myself, you're the one talking.
Yes, I realize that, but just please be
And
quiet.
before he says anything, I
Try to
go,
be quiet.
This is a library.
Yes, exactly. It is a library.
And I just shush him again.
One of the sages walks by you, Wilmer, after you walk by him, and says, "Try to ignore little one over there. He's quite odd."
I think he's quite pleasant. I start looking at the books.
Yes, you guys start flipping through everything and whatnot, and finally you guys hear Osiris, "Aha! Here it is!" And he pulls it off the shelf, and you guys see the book that he pulls off is this nice leather tome. It says Alcazar's Appendix on it, and he has the thrilling tales lined up next to it. The appendix is much smaller, a lot smaller of a tome.
He says, we hear.
And he says, "Gentlemen, do you want a quiet place to sit down and maybe dig through this a bit?"
Please, if you don't mind.
Especially Loud Boy over there won't let us read quietly. And I point to...
You see his, he doesn't have a neck, almost. He's just got, this big thumb for a head, and he just slowly turns it around. "I heard you. Shh."
I look back. It's like...
So, Rick, I think you and him would be just great friends.
Osiris goes running off up to the north with the books in hand. "Well, come along. Go in here, get a private study."
On my way out, last thing I do before I go into this hallway is I look back at the big guy again and go, and then I run off. So I get the last shush.
You hear him go, "Oh." And Osiris leads you guys into this north room, where there's a couple of scribes in here writing down on parchment and taking notes and filling out their paperwork and whatnot. But he leads you guys into another room within here, a little bit of privacy for yourselves, and says, "Well, here you go," and presents you guys with the appendix. If you need any help with this, of course, let me know, but feel free to just dig through and read, if you will.
How thick is it?
It's pretty short.
Like Tolrek? Okay, so yeah. So I just start skimming to see if I can find like a general location, more specifically one that I might recognize being over like far in the east, like in the desert.
Yeah, did you pick
I'm
up?
gonna-
Yeah, go on.
As he's doing all this, I'm gonna whisper to him, Wilmore. Are we letting the dumbest one read the book? You should do it.
You might want to take that back.
I may not be ready to read right now. I'm like fumbling through my
Wilmer's got
my
a
satchel
-1
for
right now.
my smart hat.
You took your smart hat off.
Gotta get my smart hat back on. While he's reading, I start putting my smart hat on.
Yes, Fang begins to read through it, flip through it as you sit there and try to meditate for a moment, putting this on. You're like, oh shit, this might help. And yeah, Fang, you begin to dig through it, and it's not long or anything. Like I mentioned, right away you pretty much see that it takes place in the Anarok Desert.
He gone.
There,
He's just
no.
threatening to.
he's in the blur.
Oh, he's in the
Oh, you
blur.
can't see.
Okay,
Yes.
Do I see like specific?
You want to just read it? It's not long.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
Like 2 paragraphs.
Not very thick.
Yes.
16 pages.
So it probably takes you just an hour to read it, essentially. By the time Wilmer's done meditating and whatnot, you're
Got my smart hat on
yeah,
now.
you're closing the book and just getting it all figured out. But pretty much a synopsis of this is Alcazar was searching for Nether Scroll. This was to be his last adventure before retiring, and he was going to donate the Nether Scroll to Candlekeep. In the Anarok Desert, he came across a wandering stone golem. Alcazar believed that this golem was the legendary Sapphire Sentinel, rumored to have been created by the Netherese wizards to protect one of the fabled Nether Scrolls, under the control of Prince Hamukai. The golem recognized its master's name, Hamukai, when Alcazar mentioned it, and from that point on, the golem followed him, obeying his orders and commands. And the golem, as you can pick up throughout the book, it communicates through sign language, and it seemed lost and sad. And Alcazar met some Bodine nomads. Bodine are people, or Bedine rather. Bodine is different. Bedine nomads of the land, who said that they knew of a place that held clues about the golem, but it was in a purple worm territory. He followed the Bedine guides until a sandstorm obscured the route, and the camels ran off, and after losing his guides and his transportation, Alcazar called an end to the expedition. Before he left the desert, though, Alcazar inscribed a magical tracer on the golem in the hope that he could find it again. He begs you, as the reader, to go to Anarok, find the lost golem, which might lead to the discovery of another scroll, and then finally, as you get to like the last page, the final page of the story, you see there's these like cryptic symbols that surround an illustration of the golem.
How many like illustrations are there, and can I recognize like the language or what it's displaying?
Does it look like the things that we had?
Cubes.
You make an investigation arcana check, but it does not look like the cubes.
Okay. Arcana 19.
Nice. So, yeah, with a 19, that's solid. I would say that these symbols are quite cryptic because it's not a language of sorts or anything. They're magical runes. And I'd say with a 19 and kind of your... yeah, you would know that these magical runes can be unlocked and some sort of magic will occur once you are able to decipher that.
Am I able to... Actually, I turned to Chaddington. Chaddington, by any chance, do you have anything up your sleeve or in that wise mind of yours that can depict these runes here?
I'm like literally just putting my hat on and I turn. I'm like, oh, so now we want to talk to me. And so there's a bunch of runes around a picture, and we think we can unlock the runes like in the book in front of us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look through his other book for those runes.
Sure, go for it. Make an investigation
Or
roll.
but they're just magical runes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
can we read the runes, or
You can make an Arcana check if you want.
I'll make an Arcana check. I got advantage on it. Nat 20.
Cool.
So hot.
So after Fang
He's
kind
a
of
smart guy.
let you know all of this, that he's been able to deduce from this, and showing you these magical runes that he, of course, knows are withholding some sort of magic as well and need to be activated. You take a look at it real quick, and you're like, let me take a bit of time to study this, and you take like an hour to study and decipher the code. There is a hidden code within these runes, and with a natural 20 and 26, you are able to decipher this within an hour. And say that after that hour happens and you figure out this hidden code, you see the picture almost looks like liquid as it shimmers on the page.
I'm gonna touch it. My finger.
You touch it with your finger, and you feel the heat of the desert.
Can I push through it?
Your finger just glides through the page, and you see a little bit of sand actually falls out from the seams of the page right there.
Like I look at Solrak and Fane and I go, guys, take a look. It's in the book.
A reading rainbow. I can't do anything.
And I just kind of like, shall we? And I just kind of like, I'm like elbow in now, and I'm all about jumping into this book.
Set the book down on the ground, and we can all jump in.
We may want to make sure that there's a.
You watch as the picture seems to be getting more solid.
Hurry up!
All
Hurry
right,
up.
I'll put
Go,
it. I'll
go,
put it on the
go.
floor and I'll jump in the book.
And I jump in right after him.
Solrak, you watch as both of them disappear within the small appendix of a book.
I literally go, okay, and I do a big Macho Man Randy Savage elbow drop in there.
Boom, boom. And Solrak, you land right on sand with a soft landing, and I think this is a good place to probably end, right?
That's the worst cliffhanger in the world.
All right. And we go, shoot, shoot, shoot.
I mean, unless you guys have 45 more minutes to keep this going, I'm gonna end this right here.
Yeah, nah, that's a good.
Fire.
And then
All right.
get up
So
early.
with that, you guys splat out onto sand all around you, and in the distance, not too far away from you, you guys can see two nomadic men wearing turbans and cloaks and robes, standing in front of a stone golem, just not moving or animated at all, buried halfway up in the sand.
Another cliffhanger, folks.
Yep.
Means you have to tune in next time.
That's right. So yeah, that's what we're gonna call it tonight. We're unfortunately gonna skip this weekend. So we'll have to do another shorty next week at some point in time. Unless we just want to wait until the following Sunday, which is gonna be a hell lot of a long time to. We'll wait to get back in here. Regardless, fun game, guys. Glad we were able to squeeze this one in tonight and get you guys to Candlekeep and then wherever you guys are at now. So we'll pick it up here next time we're together.
I think we're in a book.
Reading
All right.
Rainbow.
Yeah, that was funny. That was a layup.
Yes.
Layup.
I sing that song probably weekly, honestly. Great job, guys. We'll pick it up here next time. Go ahead and take the short rest and look out for those goblins under the stairs, guys. Take it easy.
All right, gentlemen.
Later. Peace.
Later.